Hey guys, welcome back to the Confirming RM YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day getting ourselves back into another 2-minute technicals video looking at XRP. Obviously here we're starting off with Bitcoin because we want to give ourselves an idea of what has transpired. As you can see here, coming down the end of the trend, but kind of holding its own on the bottom side here around 25,900, 26,000 pretty much on the dot. Got ourselves a nice rebound, got ourselves ready to that 786, was able to blow off top, hitting up there to around that 1618. Actually got ourselves a blow, like that push upwards. We had a good look over here on the RSI because we're sitting here around that 60. As we know, around that 786 usually get that kind of momentum upwards. We were coming into a little flag, and ta-da, we get this. Obviously our first target was sitting there around top of the trend here around 28,000. We obviously got overextension there, hitting around 28,500, but getting stopped out around that 1618, and now come back to support at least at 27,492. But as you can see, you have that retracement past that to around here around the 786 as things start to come back up around $27,197, giving you that idea. Get over here in XRP, so we can get ourselves acclimated to what has happened. What we kind of had going on for us over here, if you guys remember, we had this side of the trend and the other side of the trend here. And what we were kind of talking about is if we wanted to see ourselves get a push up to the upside, at least we'd have to get through on 51.5 cents. And what we saw happen is we came up here to that 786 on this longer term, and this around here around that 618, 702 on that term, and then we were able to get a push through it and get a nice wick right up there exactly to that 1618, exactly what Bitcoin just did. And now getting a nice sharp pullback to the 786, which is also on top of the 786 on the longer term version, and we're sitting right above it right now at 51.5 cents. Ain't bad at all, but you can see we are following through in the RSI right now. So what we can do is push this down lower, push that down lower as well, get rid of the side here, and then let's zoom in and let's see what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. So what we can do, get rid of this temporarily, get rid of this one as well, get rid of that, and what we're going to wind up doing is grabbing ourselves a nice trend line on the side, go across the side like this, and you can see that we have the potential to get ourselves back down here. I would say around the 702, around 50 cents and 8 tenths, that would be there, but you would see exactly of us coming here to around that 50 and 9 tenths, actually sustaining itself and holding above that 100-day moving average here in the 4-hour. But if we come here to the 1 day, you can see that that is still sitting there at the same point, pretty much at 51 cents for that support. But you can see that we tried pushing through a couple days ago, and we got that wick up there at 54. And that was something, like I said, we were discussing. We needed to get ourselves through 51.5 to get ourselves to 52.9, and then that next resistance was sitting there at 54. But right now, we are getting we're getting a nice push up to the upside. We're holding above the 702 around here, around 51.5, and we're condensing. So you have two moving averages here, or two trends you can go based off of if you really, really wanted to. You could go based off of this one, or you could go based off of this one right here, or even you can go based off of this little one if you wanted to. If you go here to 4-hour. You could do that, but I don't know, because as you can see, it's already fallen through it. So it's so easy to invalidate. Maybe like this. Maybe you would say like that on the upside, and then you could grab this one, go across the top. You can see right there the numerous wicks at the top here. You would see that it'd be coming to a precipice around Wednesday. Our current move right now, we're here at the bottom of the trend right there, and you would see that our move would be yielding us back up there to around 52.9, I would say, by midweek. That would be your first, and then obviously your long would be right here. Either come back down to 49 cents, or you get that wick back up right up there to 54.7 tenths, and we're going to try again. But we need to see how it holds this 51.5 tenths right now. Obviously, we're holding above the 50-day moving average here on the 4-hour, and we're getting wedged between that 20-day. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out for the rest of the week as we're getting closer and closer to a precipice of this kind of converging as well. So go back here to the 1 day, and if you want to bring in the RSI, it would make sense because we're still slowly grinding our way up for us to kind of stay here as the next day opens. Then we're going to start kind of bouncing our way back up, or we're at like a 51. We're at a pretty good spot right now. We're at a 786, holding above it. Get the daily close in 3 hours above the 786. Get the daily close above on the short term, above the 702. I mean, it looks like a pretty good, promising uptrend that we could see us up there to around 57, possibly by the later half of even next week if you really wanted to, but end of this week into next week. But that looks like that's there because where's our 200-day moving average? Actually, I think we're well past that. So we're really, I mean, that's really it. I mean, if we're able to get through this 54, I mean, that's our resistance 57. If we're actually able to break through this with conviction and able to really fight this this negative sentiment that has been thrown through the crypto market, especially with the data last week of CPI, as well as the government right now here in the United States having had gone through the shutdown. And I wouldn't even say haven't gone through it because it actually is. But in lieu of all that, actually finding out that the shutdown was avoided, and I'm not exactly sure what the lingo was behind it, but no, we did avoid it. But everyone had thought that it was happening on Friday and the weekend, and everyone started freaking out. And as you can see, what that kind of does throughout the rest of the market. But it seems like everything else has kind of rebounded. The stocks market's doing fine. DJI is doing fine. The dollar is pushing itself down. I mean, things are shaping up. Crypto's looking decent. You can see here XRP making its push backwards. Bitcoin obviously performing a lot pretty well in comparison to everything else at the moment, but obviously Bitcoin leads the rally for everything else. That's just how it is. But we're building our case. We're building our push upwards, and as you can see, I mean, I'm okay with where XRP's at. I am totally like 50 cents ain't bad to me. I mean, that seems to be a pretty neutral spot it's been at. I mean, around between for pretty much since March. We're in here for a while, and then we're out in May down in the 40s, and we're back in there in June, and then we're back in there in July, and then we're back in here in September into October. I mean, 50 is a pretty common region for it to be in, but 50 after retracing back to is typically a pretty prosperous region. So I'm looking forward to that. But hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Appreciate every single one of you. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're seeing ourselves have hit a crazy low here on the daily, something we haven't seen since May of 22. It's been over a year and 6 months since we saw that low. So to me, we're getting our nice rebound back up now. We're getting to a nice place here on the RSI. It's just what I'm looking at. I keep the stuff real for you, and I'm letting you guys know what I see. So I'm looking for that holding of 51.5. I'm looking for us to actually break to the upside. I'm waiting for us to check that 54 and that 57 correspondingly. And I hope you guys have a decent one. Remember, like I said, none of it's financial advice. None of it is for you to just take and run. It's just my personal opinion, just my preference on how I go about the market, and just my own thoughts. Obviously here, we got a couple days till we hit the middle of the trend, and if things work out as they should, in my mind, I would want to see it play to the upside. But I hope you guys have a good one, and have a good rest of your week. Bye-bye.